So let's talk about what law enforcement does to try to induce a statement from a suspect when they have them at the precinct. And, listen, this is all tried and true methods. There's something called the Reed technique that a lot of law enforcement learns about. And by using some of these tactics, you could imagine, everybody says, oh, I would never say anything and I would never admit anything. But, when you're scared, when you are left alone in a cold room and you don't know what time it is and it's like 3 hours and somebody comes in and starts yelling at you and is mean to you and tells you all the trouble you're in. And then somebody a half hour later comes in with, some McDonald's and is nice to you and talks to you about how they're going to let you go home if you make a statement and they'll put the good word in for the with you for the DA. It breaks people down. Some people it doesn't, but especially when you're dealing with young people, 17, 18, 19, it breaks them down and they want to do the right thing. They want to help the police. They want to help themselves. They get talked into doing it. So it could be very difficult if that's the situation. And people always want to tell their story, even if they're in trouble. They still want to tell their story. So listen, the police have this down. I don't, I can't watch legal and cop dramas on TV, but the one thing that they do have right is the interrogation tactics. A lot of the things that you see on TV are the exact things that they use. It's not as cut and dry, 3 minutes of clever, talking and they fully admit everything. But the general things that they do are accurate. So it's a very serious situation when someone's in that situation. And I've told my kids, and again, I'm a criminal defense attorney, so they trust me and they know that I'm going to protect them. But I've told them if they are ever in that situation, no matter what any officer tells you, no matter what anyone tells you, making a statement will never help you, and you just tough it out as hard as it might be, and I'll meet you on the other end. And as a parent, that's what I would tell your kids. You make no statements, you don't talk about anything, and I promise you that I will find you a lawyer as soon as I find out what happened and go to court and we'll try to help you. But you never want to have your child making a statement that's going to help any case that might be against them.